Hello!
Welcome back.
Yes, another episode of Woody Wednesday. How are we all?
Look at us getting back into the swing of things.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Being very efficient. It's because of the lighter nights, you know,
longer days.
Spring, the garden
I'm
is
not
shooting.
travelling all over the place with work.
Yeah, it's lovely. And we're crafting more, and that's what we're doing.
Yep.
So we're in mid-products, or projects, should I say.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you doing?
I am still making my scrubbies. I just slip-knotted on there.
Oh,
made a
yes.
mistake.
Yeah.
So I mentioned these in the last one. These are the little face scrubbies I use. So you apply your eye makeup remover and then you pop it on and you remove your makeup or whatever makeup you happen to make. So I've been crocheting these. I've been using double knit weight, moya, whatever that is.
Oh, now this is when you were in Brighton, yeah?
Yes, so I popped down to Brighton. I was down there with work and my friend Kim, hello Kim if you're watching, Kim who got me back into knitting in the first place, she brought me to her favourite little independent shop which is called Yak.
Yak, follow them on Instagram.
And they had other varieties. Sadly, I needed some other slightly thicker cotton to do what I wanted to do. And they had some in. So I got this lovely blue. We're all about blue in this episode.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Which you can see from our background as well. That'll come into more into play as we get through the episode.
Yes, so I've been making little scrubbies with my little crochet hook. I got my crochet hook here. We will leave links below. And got this from Yak. And it's working a dream. I've already used some. So I can wash these and reuse them so I don't have to throw away cotton pads. And Jen, who is off screen, you would have seen her in the last episode.
Hello.
Mentioned I could make some face cloths. So I already have face cloths that I bought, but they're getting quite old and raggedy. So I might crochet myself up some face cloths as well. But I'll do some close-ups. So these are with 4mm needle, or hook, I should say. I did try it with a smaller hook, and it is tighter, but it's just a wee bit too tight and a bit too finicky to do. So it went from being fun to, I'm going to throw this all in the bin. So you can see the size difference. But
well, that's nice.
Yeah,
really
I prefer these. And I just pull the centre together a bit more when I'm doing it so it closes.
Because you do a magic ring, yeah?
No.
Yeah.
Magic glue.
I don't. I stitch four and then
just go back into the hole.
And I make sure I have enough of a tail and I pull the tail.
I'm going to say I'm very impressed then, because that route normally when you do four and go back in your first normally ends up with a little saggy hole.
Random little trick that I've taught myself. I don't know if it's the way you do it, but I have enough of a tail, so I pull the tail so it tightens the loop. And then I make sure I have enough of a tail that I can sew that back in, and as I'm sewing it back in, it tightens the circle it seals it back up, so you don't have a gaping hole.
Yeah, which often happens. Yeah.
So because I noticed that with the first one, I was like, I can't be doing with this, so tightened it up.
So my project, if you can see it, because it's actually blends in with me, camouflage.
I know. He's back. We've talked about this before in previous episodes.
This is my Breton.
It's fabulous.
That Colin has designed for me. And we did have a look at the pictures, didn't we? And I now have the pattern. I haven't got the pictures, but...
And you're doing this pattern with a company, am I making that up?
No, this was just something that I said I wanted to do. So Colin has just knocked up, isn't it incredible? A pattern. So that's the back that I'm on now. It's
Will you be doing a blog post with these pictures?
I need to, yeah.
I think you should, don't you think, people? So we can put the pattern up?
I can't find the original picture.
Get it up on Ravelry or somewhere?
But it's it's like is it kimono style? It's like this box shape, but it wraps over the front, and the front. I don't know if there's another picture there.
No, but he has a drawing of it.
Yeah. So he designed it for me. I just had to do a swatch, and then he came up with all the maths.
Thank you very much for that, by the way.
So this is
I'm loving the
cotton linen yarn.
It's fabulous.
And I love Breton. I just love that look, that navy and white.
Really? I don't know.
Can't tell.
Couldn't tell at all.
So nice about it. As I was researching the Breton look, the white has to be bigger than the blue.
Yeah, so it's twice as big as the blue. Is that right?
No, it's a little bit bigger. Well, I don't know.
It's 1.5 to 1 sort of ratio.
But I mean, this obviously isn't classic Breton, but the blue and white stripes is. So I suppose it's up to you in the design.
It's how you interpret these things.
So I've got 6 rows of stocking stitch of white and 4 of blue.
Okay.
And I'm just going backwards and forwards, just up and down, backwards and forwards. up and down until I get to about that long, and then it's as the picture says, come in.
Yes.
No shaping or anything. It should be quite nice. I'm looking forward to seeing what it'd be like
I'm looking forward to seeing that
on
finished.
the beach on an Italian beach.
I would think that's a nice unisex top.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah.
So I definitely think I am loving his
I know.
writing. It's like
Yeah.
calligraphy. It's fabulous.
We were saying this last
Close
episode,
up.
weren't we? The talent that we've got of people in the village and surrounding areas.
Unbelievable.
You know, and he's literally just down the
It's-
road, and he's a you know.
I think it's
fashion
the
designer.
talent topped off with the generosity of time, as you know,
Yeah.
the willingness to help people
to
and get
design
involved.
that pattern and write it up for me. Yeah.
It's amazing.
So that's my pattern. I need to do a mention for Vincent on my Montrealer. How that's getting on. The sleeve.
Look at you
Getting there.
doing it.
Yeah.
I'm so impressed with you. Well done. I still haven't finished my jumper, people. I need to go back and finish it, really.
Well,
Just so it's finished, so I can be like, yay, done. But that's fabulous.
but we go through phases, don't we? So I'm now a bit bored of that because it is stocking stitch and it is just going round and round and round. And I'm not good enough to be doing that whilst watching the telly yet, you know. So I still have to concentrate. So I've got a bit bored. So now I'm switching, and I'll do that for a night, and then I'll get bored of that, and I'll switch back to that. I don't think most people do. They work like that.
Yes, I most definitely do. I have to have multiple things on the go so that I can distract myself with
Yeah.
each one. I start one project and then it's on to the other thing. We talk with Jen. So basically, I'm somebody, I like to crochet, I like to knit, I like to craft little books.
Yeah.
You know, and I also
You
have...
go through those phases of what you like doing, don't you?
Yeah, massively so. Massively so.
So so that's my Breton. So that's what I'm working on at the moment, and then that's using drops yarn, drops cotton and linen.
We will
Lovely.
do proper close-ups as always with these things.
But as always, I've got like
Stuart is always
bits
hanging
everywhere.
with threads and balls everywhere.
so. So that's where we're up to with our projects.
Yeah. So it's very exciting.
So today's episode is a feature of blue.
Really?
Yes, because there is a village just down the road
Yes.
called Lavenham.
Yes. Fabulous little village with lots of twisted little houses.
Fabulous, isn't it? And there is a bit of history with that. Lavenham is a wool town, and there are 5 of them in our local area, literally within, what would you say, 10 miles?
Yeah, within a nice radius.
There's Lavenham, Long Melford, where we are. There's Clare, Hadley and Sudbury. So the 5 wool towns. And around the 12th century to up to the 15th century, when wool was a big thing.
It built this area.
It did, yeah,
Massively
completely. Started off with raw wool, and it developed as the trade went on to actually weaving it. And that's where Lavenham particularly got famous. Was they were weaving it into cloth, which then got exported literally around
Everywhere.
Europe,
Yeah, around the
into
world.
Russia. Yeah. And
Russia?
Yeah, would you believe? As far as Russia. That's what the books
Back
say.
in the day?
Yeah, I know.
That's a long way to go.
It
Sorry.
was huge.
That's a long way to go.
But the yarn came from, or the fleeces came from all around the country. Sourced it, came to Lavenham, and the village had all the workers there. So they would dye it in the fleece. So they put the
As
the
it
whole
has come off the
fleece in.
sheep,
Indeed.
has it as standard. After
Yeah,
it's
which is
probably had
where
a bit
the
of a wash.
hey.
I'm assuming after it's had a bit of a wash, taken the
Oh
grass
yes,
out.
they would have done all that, taken the poo out and all the little bits.
I was going with grass, Stuart.
And they would have then put it in the dye, dyed it woad, which is where this blue is. Now I've
Yes.
got my little
Hanged
hint
up.
sheet because I was practicing this earlier.
Oh, right.
The Latin, Isatis tinctoria.
I said.
Well, I sound like something off Harry Potter.
I know, I was like, switch and
isn't
flick.
it? Isatis, maybe it's Isatis tinctoria.
Still sounds
for
like Harry
woad.
Potter.
But woad is I think it came in from Europe, but it's a massive thing for us Brits and the Scots.
It came from a French chap, wasn't it?
I think
Because wasn't that the laugh that we seen on Sewing Bee? Was that something else?
I don't know.
Linen. I'm thinking of linen. Ignore me, people.
Okay.
It's fine. But didn't he bring in a certain method from France, and that was maybe way of
Might have done
dyeing
with the
things.
indigo. Maybe that was with indigo, because indigo is blue, but you've got woad, which is the blue, and then you've got the indigo, which was an import later on, which was cheaper. Maybe that was what you're thinking of.
Yeah. It was something to do with linen and how
But
it's
the woad links back to Celtic. Boudica or Boadicea, however you want to say it, with the blue, the face paints, Braveheart. Yeah. So anyway,
But Stuart doesn't
so
look it.
blue is a big thing. So they so when dyeing the fabric or the wool, the fleece in Lavenham, so they would dip the fleece in the woad, the vat, dye it blue. Then they would card it. They would then do all the other things. What have I got? They would spin it, weave it, fill it, and finish it, all in Lavenham in the village. And when you go there, the whole village is based on it, even to the point where they've started investigating that in some of the houses, the river or a stream runs underneath the houses for getting rid of it all. That's fascinating when you look into it, absolutely fascinating.
That's fascinating. Yeah.
But literally, from my notes here, from my research, it's transformed Lavenham in the late 1500s to, they say, the 14th richest town in England. They paid more tax because they were making so much money. They paid more tax than York for that time, and it was like less than 2,000 people living in Lavenham. It was a tiny village. Yeah. So all this money was pumped into Lavenham, and you should see some of the buildings there. Phenomenal.
Yeah. Like that.
Yeah, wooden timber
As
buildings.
they'd say in Suffolk, they're all on the hook.
Massive churches, because obviously then
Yeah.
religion was huge.
But
And
they
the
have-
idea of the closer you are to God, the better you are. So
Build up.
massive churches.
And I've been in the church that we're talking about, the aisle. Certain
Yeah. St. Peter and St.
well-known
Paul.
people have got married in
Yeah.
it because it has a massively
Yeah.
long aisle.
Yeah, and a massive tower.
Yeah.
We're lucky to have one in Long Melford. What's it called in Long Melford? Is it Trinity?
Yes, Holy Trinity.
Holy Trinity. Oh my word! Yeah, have a look. That's all right.
Jen keeps covering her mouth off. She's off camera, people. It's okay.
So all this money came in, but this is the sad thing. Sadly, indigo. There are a couple of reasons why it sort of went to pot. Indigo being a cheaper form of dyeing than woad was, but there are other reasons as well. But literally, the trade then sort of went out. So that
There was a cheaper
cheap
way of doing it.
imports.
Isn't
from
that
Europe.
always the way?
Yeah. But because the money literally just stopped coming in, the buildings didn't then get developed. So through time from the 16th century, buildings would have had brick added and stone added,
Yeah.
and you would have developed the buildings. Which
But is that why they're all-
it's like stepping in time, because they've not developed, which is why they are like what they are.
Interesting.
So if you want to visit Lavenham or some of the buildings in Long Melford,
Yeah, I'd really
That's-
recommend it if you're in the area. Go to Lavenham. It's
the
just
Guildhall,
stunning.
the church,
Just
the
walking down the
houses.
street.
Yeah,
You don't need-
it is
it's
like
just stunning.
it's like you've actually gone onto a set, a
Yeah.
TV set.
And you'd be walking around hoping the building doesn't fall on you, because honestly,
Yeah,
they're leaning out into the street.
Yeah.
They're all on the wong.
It
Well, not
is
all of them, but a
fascinating.
large chunk of them.
But because those buildings weren't developed, it is literally just a moment in time.
Interesting.
And all that
I
money
didn't know
that came in.
that's why they're like that.
Yeah,
Fascinating.
Yeah, because it just didn't, like all the other towns, you know, or cities like Norwich or York or whatever, they then get developed on, and they go. Well, of course they would do. If the money's still coming in, you would
Of course
develop with the
you keep-
times.
yeah,
wouldn't you?
exactly.
But Lavenham didn't. It just
just
then went
stopped.
to a normal village, and of course no money was coming in, so they couldn't then add to it anyway
No,
and develop it.
that's really good.
But the irony now is it's all back in fashion, isn't it? So as you look in, and it's a huge tourist place. Well, anyway, because of that, when they were dyeing the wool and they were using woad, the blue became the most popular colour, which is pretty much what made the money for
Lavenham
Lavenham.
Blue.
So it then got christened Lavenham Blue broadcloth when it was woven up into a fabric, and it was that was ka-ching, getting the money in.
Ka-ching, ka-ching.
Yeah.
Technical term.
So it's the woad that I've been looking at as a wool shop, because we're in a wool town, the Woolpatch.
Yeah.
I just suddenly thought, well, is that not an avenue to explore for tourism, for
Yeah.
us bringing the history back in.
Yeah.
So I thought, why can't I try to dye?
And he did. He only went and dyed his own.
Yes.
Like actually dyed his own. We have it here, and Stuart has actually got some video footage. We're going to try and overlay. It's been recorded in portrait, so we'll just pop it on the side here. Probably covering my face. We'll do a proper close-up of it. But
And
look at the
these.
variation in colour there as well. That's what I love. It's how the colour has changed.
Yeah, and that's...
Where it's closer. So I seen it in your Instagram. If you don't follow the Woolpatch on Instagram, I'd recommend it. But it's where some of it is closer to the dye. Is that right?
Yeah, I had it because the nature of... Look at that, look.
Oh, that's focusing on my face.
That's all right.
The nature of...
It's the nature of the dyeing process, which I've just been learning about. Woad is... when you dye with woad, which is a plant, by the way, it grows.
I was going to say, what is woad?
It is a...
Because I know certain dyeing requires...
It is a plant. This... can we remember what it was? Isatis tinctoria. And it grows into it's a bit like rape in a way. It has all these yellow bits at the top, yellow flower at the top.
Yeah, we're surrounded by that at the minute.
But actually, this is where I find it fascinating in when you go back to medieval times to Braveheart, how they found it out.
How
because
they find that out?
the dye is got green, it's got green leaves like any other plant. But it's from the leaves that you crush and do stuff with that you then find that it's blue. How did they find out in the first
Somebody
place?
trod on it.
I reckon so.
Yeah. There's I have lots of blue footprints.
So
There's
you-
either Smurfs or...
So you crush all the leaves up and I just occurred to me what you just said.
It's like they've squashed Smurfs. That was very funny in my head.
And some people will dye from the leaves using the leaves. There is a process where you crush the leaves and over time and a process getting into a powder. That's what I use. So I end up having this blue powder.
So how do you buy the leaves?
You
buy the
can grow
powder.
it and use fresh leaves, or you can...
You buy the powder.
You buy the powder, yeah, because I haven't got the time, or the money to grow the leaves and to process
Have a
it.
big
That's
field of it.
Yeah.
At the back.
So you buy the powder. Now, woad is an indigo, like the indigo from Asia, but woad is... what's so unique about woad is you don't need a mordant to fix it.
What's a
Because a mordant, when you're dyeing with natural dyes, you need a mordant to fix the colour so it doesn't go.
Like a glue for the dye.
You see it like that, yeah.
Seals it, like a sealant.
Yes. Woad doesn't need it, so it cuts that step out.
So if you wash this, it's not going to run.
No, that's right, guarantee.
Right, okay.
Indigo, however,
You need to...
it will run or rub.
So is that like when you buy a pair of jeans?
It is exactly that, because indigo and woad isn't a chemical reaction when you dye, it's a physical reaction, as in physically it touches the wool.
So it coats it.
So it's clinging to it. That's
So
all it
rather
is.
than soaking into it.
And chemically changing,
It's just coating
like
it.
another acid dye would do when you dye yarn, these acid dyers.
Yeah.
It is just physically touching coating it.
Ah.
So when you dip it, so this is where it really gets hard, because when you woad, when you put it in, it won't dissolve into the water because it's got oxygen in. So you have to get the oxygen out by fermenting the tank. And this is where they realised in the 15th, 16th century, well, how do you get the oxygen out of the water?
I was going to ask about that.
Urine. Particularly men's urine as well. That's what they used. I know.
Why particularly men?
That's what they found out.
Because they're all having beers, basically. That's what you're saying.
So the tank ferments. You then put your woad in.
Yeah.
Now, because there's no oxygen in the water, the woad then hangs.
Could you not have boiled the water? Does that not deoxygenate the water as well?
You've got to get it completely out.
Oh, right, okay.
So the woad then is like in stasis in the vat. Okay. So when you dip the yarn in, the woad just physically touches it.
Oh, what did it do, Stuart?
But if like on mine, when you see some of these,
I'm just playing with this.
I put the woad. with my first, these attempts here, I put them into the vat and sat it on the bottom. Now, remember, it's getting coated as it goes in, but ultimately there's going to be some woad powder, probably, residue on the bottom.
So that's why you have darker
it's where it's
patches.
Or certainly patches there where it's really, literally just sat on it.
Yeah.
I think next time I might try and get a bigger vat like that, so I can dip the yarn and it'll stay there.
You need a big wooden spoon to stir it as you're adding.
Very carefully though, because you don't want to introduce any oxygen, because as soon as you introduce oxygen,
bubbles.
it won't properly work. Oh my word, how did they know this and find this out originally? You know, it makes my brain hurt. And
Maybe they didn't fully understand what they were doing, but they knew that this worked.
And there's loads of other chemical things about getting the pH levels more alkaline, and
you need 4 beers before you pee. You need this type of ale.
This is the mad thing about it, which is what you'll see on the videos. So you've got this yellowy, gunky colour. You dip it in.
I seen this.
Remember, there's no oxygen in there. You pull it out, and as soon as it hits the air, the oxygen, it then turns blue.
That's what fascinates me.
Oh my word, it's like magic. And you'll see my videos, and you'll see me going, oh my God!
It is quite literally Harry Potter.
Yeah.
It's amazing, because you can see the tie-dye almost sort of effect in that where...
Yeah, but I think that's nice. I think they call it like a tonal or a semi-solid. Because I was thinking, when I first did it, I thought, I haven't got a solid colour. But actually... But
that's what makes it so unique.
Yeah. Now, would you believe that was my first attempt?
It's not very blue.
No, didn't leave it in there long enough. And then the second and third attempt. Isn't that amazing?
It's fabulous. I like the two. To be fair, I like them all. That's a lovely soft colour.
But I think the denim will be popular for...
Yeah, I like the darkest colour.
Now,
it's my favourite.
Go back to the Lavenham Blue. So this is what... I mean, I've obviously dyed yarn that has been pre-spun and put into a 100-gram hank. Mm-hmm. Back in Lavenham time, in 16th century, they would have dyed the fleece and then spun it and then taken it from that and then woven it. Mm-hmm. But I think that would
have been interesting to see how it patterned out in regards to.
Would be our next job, is to knit it up to get some ideas and to maybe weave it up, because I've got a couple of weaver friends who might be able to weave something up. The sad thing is we have no real evidence of Lavenham Blue broadcloth that exists. Oh, it's all in history books.
It's probably disintegrated, probably. Would it have?
Yeah, I don't know. Wool,
be old enough.
Wool should keep going, yeah.
Yeah, but if it's worn and used rather than looked at.
So we have no real true idea of the colour, but I would have thought from my research of talking to the guild at Lavenham, I would have thought it would be this blue. I don't think it would be as denim as the denim, but I think it's that. That's the colour that I think we're going to go for Lavenham Blue.
It's a beautiful blue.
And I'm just going to try and dye more and more of it and have that as our own special yarn to sell.
Local.
That celebrates the history of Lavenham. And us as a wool town, we've got.
Are you going to have this available online to buy?
Yeah, definitely.
I keep asking this. I never know this.
Because there are people from around the world who literally come to Lavenham to visit, tourists. Massive tourist area. But I'm sure some of our American followers.
Yeah.
I've had some messages already from them about the wool saying, "Can I buy it?"
Fabulous. So
because it's that idea that we're, homage to our history that is just down the road, or to our history. Long Melford is a wool town. The only reason why we're here is because of the money that got pumped into that in the 15th century.
Yeah.
Fabulous. So I'm going to try some 4-plies. I'm going to try some double knits.
And what is this?
And that is a 4-ply.
Okay.
But what I really want to do, and this will be the best thing, is my next thing is to get local wool. Wool from down the road, alpaca, or a flock of sheep, and get Suffolk sheep. Well, they're not necessarily Suffolk; they could be any breed, but it's locally sourced wool.
Yes.
That I've then got spun into double knit and 4-ply.
Yeah.
And I've dyed myself, and we're selling it.
Don't dye yourself. Dye the yarn, please.
But just think of that: no air miles, or very, very little air miles, and using fleeces from locally sourced sheep.
Yes. We need to record that as and when.
So I've got some alpaca coming in, local alpaca, To the point
no,
where-
that's sheep. What noise does alpaca make?
To the point where I know the names of the sheep.
Oh, you
and
just
we
went
can-
from alpaca to sheep?
And I could, the names of
George.
it, well, the alpaca family. And I'm going to make my own labels, hopefully with the help of Jen.
I don't think they'd appreciate being stuck on.
No, I think we'll just do
You do it
some...
in the yarn, not the alpaca.
Yeah.
So it's...
Jen got what I was talking about.
So yeah, it's going to be great. So watch this space. That's where we're going to go
Yeah.
with it. So how exciting is that?
That's very exciting.
As a sort of business venture. So
Very, very exciting.
So keep posted, and yes, we'll keep you updated in our stories. And to finish off, we've just got a few Baabaras.
No, you have to do the special.
Baabaras. Our first Baabara that we've got. Yes, and
sorry.
that as well. Yes. Oh, let's talk. Oh yeah.
Before we go any further,
Look at
I've just picked him up. This is made with.
merino, double knit merino by Mandy. Another Mandy knit.
And he's got a little
How cool
card.
is that? Another blue.
We'll do a close up,
Yes.
but another special creation.
Commission. Yeah, commission for a customer.
Little buttons on top.
For her little boy.
So cute.
Lovely.
But yes, so we'll have a proper
She
cutaway.
just never stops knitting, does Mandy?
Fabulous.
Brilliant. So thank you for that, Mandy. So our Baabaras.
Baabaras.
So the Baaara Award
Yes.
for achievement and awesomeness.
Oh,
Nominated by Sarah. Thanks, Sarah, for this. She nominates Karen
yes.
for sewing up her little baby knit cardigan. She says, I just couldn't do it, and Karen offered to do it, and she did it in a few hours. My grandson will love it. So the award for super sewing up and being a great mate goes to Karen.
Oh, thank you, Karen.
Yes.
From Sarah.
Yeah. So that's it.
And I have a Baabara
For awesomeness.
for awesomeness, nominated by Stuart. Shock, surprise! You seem so surprised. And it's Jen,
What?
who's off camera. That was Jen.
Yeah. That's
So-
a special one.
Yes,
Jen.
and it's for helping clear up the shop every Monday for the last year. She gives up her time, all for free, and to come in on a Monday to clean, and she does an amazing job. She'll sweep the floor and help tidy.
To then helping,
Redesign the window. Oh, no wonder it looks so
I
fabulous.
know, yeah.
And stock the shelves.
Yeah.
What a star, what a person. And we have such a laugh.
Oh, we do, yeah.
To be fair, yes. And I can't thank her enough. The award for awesomeness and outstanding cleaning skills goes to Jen. Can I tag on also Jen, which you would have seen in the last one, for introducing me to scrapbooking and eating all the chocolate with me, making me feel much better about that. But yes,
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
both.
you're welcome.
Oh, you are
she's
so
such a
nice.
sweetheart.
Well,
We'll leave Jen's Instagram below, by the
yes,
way, because it's
indeed.
fab.
With you, I mean, because it is literally just me in the shop.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
cleaning the
by
shop or
yourself.
doing those jobs, when you're on your own, they're horrible.
Yeah.
And
And this thing's
so
going forever.
yeah, so when Jen's in on a Monday, it makes Mondays, because we're technically closed, and we are going to be closed from like May till, when are we going to be? May till
Every month.
July?
On a
Yes.
Monday. Not every other day.
Because I'll be, no, just the Mondays, because I'm going to be dying now it's warmed up.
No,
I'm
Stewie,
gonna-
please don't die.
Please don't die.
So, but
Yes.
from in before then, yes, Mondays. It just made Mondays so much more
Yeah.
interesting.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it used to be
great
quite
fun.
nice to pop by on a Monday and you both being like, hello!
Yes, right.
2 for
So-
1.
Thank you.
tea.
So you've got my bar.
Yes.
Oh, bless you.
being
If you
awesome.
want to nominate anyone for achievement or for awesomeness,
Yes,
just
for a Baabara
drop it in the
award.
comments below or send us an email for a Baabara award.
Barbara. Yes.
Just a nice way of just saying thank you. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people do things for us, and they do huge things, but sometimes we forget those little things.
Yeah.
So it's just a nice way of saying thank you.
And for Stuart for getting me Earl Grey tea. I love my Earl Grey, and he's actually gone and got myself
Yeah.
loose leaf.
Nice.
I was turning up with my jar of Earl Grey, and
Well,
then
you
he's
do a
like,
lot of editing for the whole YouTube thing that we're doing here. Well, that thanks to you. So.
"Oh, you guys! I feel like we need to have a great hug."
Oh dear. Right, on that note, I'll get
Yeah.
back to doing some more dyeing then, I think.
Yeah.
Every
Oh.
Monday. Yeah. Oh. But thanks for watching. If
Yeah.
you like it, keep subscribing, keep spreading the word.
And thank you to everybody
Yeah.
that does take the time out to watch. It's very much
Yeah,
appreciated.
indeed.
You
Yeah,
rock.
Very much so, yeah.
And we'll see you in the next one.
Indeed. See you later.
Bye.